Well, welcome to Riding Shotgun on Thursday, February 28th. Let's just get that out of the way right now. I'm so glad February's over. I don't like January and February. I just, you know, they say you shouldn't wish your life away, but I kind of wish those 2 months away every year. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. And it's always a relief when March gets here, even though we're still going to have some more wintry crud. And we in central Illinois almost always get a walloper of a snowstorm in March, early to mid-March. But so if we have to put up with that, we have to put up with that. But we're getting closer and closer to the seasonal change, and hopefully get back out on the road here. Our path is still gooped up. My truck is still having a few issues in terms of I don't even want to get into it, but anyhow, happy that tomorrow is March the 1st. Well, watched the Illinois-Purdue game last night, as many of you did, I am sure. Really, I kind of went in with low expectations about winning because, number one, Purdue's really good. Number two, Purdue's almost impossible to beat at home. They won the game last night. That was their 38th win in 39 games. You probably saw the Big Ten Network graphic. They're the winningest home team in the country over the last 4 years. More than Duke, more than Kansas, more than Villanova, more than North Carolina, more than anybody you want to point to. Purdue, toughest place to win. Back when Lou was the coach, Dick Nagy and Jimmy Collins, I remember one time I asked them about what's the loudest arena, and they kind of, and they said Mackey. And that arena's changed a little bit, but not that much. It's still that bowl, and it is loud, and the students get into it. They do a great job there, and the team seems to draw on that energy and play well there, and they're undefeated there this season and undefeated again. But you know, I was worried about the energy, if that's the right word, or the diminishing swagger after they had won 5 of 6. They lost that one game, then they lost the Penn State game the other day, and I didn't feel like I felt like the same energy level. And so I was curious about, you know, that's one of the lessons a young team has to learn. How do you break through that and not only do it when you've had back-to-back disappointments, but do it on the road. And I thought Illinois really brought it last night. They were ahead at the half by 1. And even in the second half, when Purdue made a burst, Illinois answered and tied that game at 48. And so about 3/4 of the way through the game, you know, they've done a good job. But a couple things are also very apparent. Illinois is really small, particularly last night, because when Georgie Bashonashvili got in foul trouble, they couldn't go to Adonis De La Rosa to just bring a bigger physical presence into the post. He could not play last night because of a knee issue. They did bring in Samba Cane only briefly right at the end of the first half, but Samba's not ready for this. And it happened to be a night when Purdue's center, Matt Harms, had the best game of his college career. And he is 7'3", and I thought last night played about 8'3". 21 points, 10 rebounds, credited with 4 block shots. It felt like he altered another bunch, and he really smothered Georgie Bashonashvili. Really, it's the first game that I can remember in a long while where Georgie didn't have a significant impact. 2 points, 3 rebounds, fouled out, 21 minutes plus maybe, something like that out there. Just was very difficult for him. And then when he wasn't in the game, they often played really small. Kipper Nichols sometimes in the 5 at 6'6". And Purdue really took advantage, threw over the top, got the ball. You know, Illinois' post defense requires not allowing the ball to get to the post. They deny passes. They make it difficult to even get the ball in there. But Purdue got it in there last night and did a good job with it. And after being tied 48-48, they went on a run and pulled away to win 73-56. Matt Harms, as I said, was great. Carson Edwards was really good too, which nothing unexpected there. I thought Nogel Eastern, who's from my old high school, was very good, and Eifert was really good too. And so, you know, Illinois looked small last night, and they were small, and it kind of you know, the only way they were going to win last night is if they just started rocking it from three, and they did not have a particularly good shooting game. This probably will sound like I'm trying to find a silver lining in all this, because it didn't end pretty, no doubt about that. But I really liked what I saw from Tevian Jones. I continue to like what I see on a nightly basis from Alan Griffin. I think they each had 7 last night. Those are guys who can go get their shots in a way that others can't. You see Tevian Jones, he can go get a shot anytime he wants it. And burst to the basket or rise up and shoot from the perimeter. I really like what I see from him. Ironically, yesterday, I happened across a mixtape of Kofi Cockburn. And so if you need a little pick-me-up after the game last night, go to YouTube, search Kofi Cockburn, K-O-F-I, Cockburn, and just, you know, he is, look, he's a man playing with children in high school right now, so we had taken that into account. However, a college team will not push him around. A college team will have to deal with his strength. He and Georgie on the floor together create some intriguing options for Brad Underwood next season. And Brad's going to have fun with that. You also have Antoine January coming in. Kofi 6'10", 11, 280, 290, depending on where he, you know, what he's weighing, given whatever buffet he happens to have visited most recently. Antoine January 6'10", 11, 245, I'm guessing. Not the physical strong man that Cockburn is, but more size. And then you have hopefully a bit of a bulked up, more experienced, more confident Samba Cane. You've got some big man options that don't exist right now. And you know, still Illinois' got to play better on the perimeter. They've got to do some things better. I get that. But watch the tape. It'll make you feel a little bit better. 3 games to go in the regular season. 2 of them are at home. They play Northwestern at home Sunday. Got to win that game for a zillion reasons. That's like a 5:30 tip, I believe. Then they play Indiana at home. Be great to win that game. You know, they're like, I would say, Penn State in that they're a better team than their record would indicate. Penn State, by the way, last night, when I turned over to see how they were doing against Maryland, they were up by 27. I think they ended up winning by 17, just supporting, again, the notion that Penn State is a better team than their record. Didn't surprise me that Illinois lost to Penn State over the weekend. They played great. Lamar Stevens is terrific. And then, of course, we go to the Big Ten tournament. Well, they finish on the road at Penn State, and then they go to the Big Ten tournament, which is thankfully back in Chicago this year. It was great to have the Flying Illini back in town. I thought the university did a terrific job with the reunion. Hats off to Rod for putting that together. I mean, just to get those guys together is terrific, and to get a full turnout of everybody. And the guys look great, and I was just, you know, Rod Cardinal does a great job with that, and I thought Lowell Hamilton looked spectacular. If there was a guy that looked almost like he looked back then, and listen, Kendall Gill and Stephen Bardo both look great and look like they could play, and I'm not saying the others couldn't, but those guys look like, you know, they're not as far removed as 30 years would suggest. And Lowell, I don't know if Lowell can play, if he does play. But, man, he looked like Lowell Hamilton, and that's always kind of cool when you see that. Kudos to the university for rolling out some neat Flying Illini gear. I would love to get a Flying Illini, like a long-sleeve tee like that. I'm going to have to check into that. I'm sure they're available to the public. Why wouldn't they be, right? But it looked great. It's too bad the team couldn't have delivered a dramatic win. It often happens that way, it seems to me, when you have these celebration games. But that was great. So congratulations to all concerned there. So hopefully they can bring that same energy to the floor against Northwestern Sunday that they brought to Mackey Arena. Hopefully they can sustain it. Northwestern doesn't have a 7'3" guy that's going to play 8'3". They've got some talented guys in Derek Parton and Vic Law, among others. And so Illinois is going to have to show up ready to play. But it'd be nice to finish the year with a couple of home wins before they go back for the rematch with Penn State out in State College. Thanks for riding along, everybody. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.